She's number one at being dumb, the new face of the DNC. Gather round, cause that's our Jasmine.
Jasmine Crockett's got another hot take. No blacks and whites on a wedding cake. The Democrats' new chosen one, Jasmine Crockett, is in the news again for an old clip where she attacked Florida Rep Byron Donalds for marrying a white woman.
When a viral sensation crashes and burns, the internet never forgets. What you're about to witness isn't just another celebrity meltdown. It's the spectacular downfall of someone who built their entire career on controversy, only to have their own words become their ultimate destruction. If you want to stay updated on the wildest celebrity breakdowns and behind-the-scenes drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. The name Jasmine Crockett might sound familiar, but her story is far more twisted than you probably realize. This is the rise and fall of a woman who went from complete unknown to internet sensation to public embarrassment in record time. And the best part? She did it all to herself. Let's start with how she first exploded onto the scene. Picture this, a relatively unknown congresswoman suddenly becomes the hottest name on social media overnight. It all started with one perfectly timed comeback that had everyone talking. She went from zero to viral hero in seconds, and suddenly everyone wanted to know who this fierce new voice was. The aftermath was insane. Within hours, her response was remixed into songs, turned into merchandise, and shared millions of times. She didn't just go viral, she became a cultural moment. The smart move would have been to capitalize on this fame responsibly, maybe use it to build actual credibility. Instead, she chose a different path entirely.
Clearly, it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you.
That's not very woke, is it? Of course, Crockett isn't the only Democrat who's opposed to interracial marriage, or else more Democrats would have voted for this one. Racist!
Now here's where things get really interesting. That clip you just heard, that's Jasmine Crockett targeting a fellow politician not for his policies or his record, but for something incredibly personal, his choice in marriage. And this wasn't some off-the-cuff remark caught on a hot mic. This was a calculated attack during a radio interview. What makes this even more shocking is the hypocrisy. While she's attacking one person for their interracial relationship, she's completely silent about others in similar situations who happen to align with her politically. The double standard is so obvious it's almost laughable. But this was just the beginning. Once you get a taste of viral fame, it's like a drug. You need bigger and bigger hits to get the same high. And Jasmine Crockett was about to prove just how addictive that attention can be.
Tyrus, I go to you for no particular reason. Is she making any point there?
Like this makes me wish my mom made different father choices. Because we all get sucked into this. Like, this is, if you're gonna talk about black history, at least know it. This is, at least know it, okay?
Even other commentators were starting to notice something was off. When someone who's usually measured and thoughtful starts expressing regret about family choices because of your behavior, you know you've crossed a line. But Crockett wasn't done. She was just getting started on what would become a pattern of increasingly outrageous statements, each one designed to capture more attention than the last.
But it goes back to, that was 45 seconds of some of the, like, Kamala, you good right now. That was some of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. Here's the thing. This goes back to what we talked about earlier. They never have a solution. Just listen to your dumbass talk. You want to talk about agriculture? Why don't you fix the lottery? Why don't you make it easier for people who want to come into this country to work in agriculture and equitation and factories? Get rid of the lottery. Open it up. Talk to the president. Like, hey, we got a plan. We want to make it easier for people who can vet and come in and work in this country. Come up with an idea besides, any of y'all want to pick cotton? We're like, we're in suits in the middle of the Midwest. Why would we pick cotton? It's like the extreme stupidness of what she speaks. I'm so angry right now.
The frustration in that response tells you everything you need to know. When seasoned commentators are literally getting angry at the level of discourse, you know something has gone seriously wrong.
She's so rotten, she wants migrants picking cotton. We present to you Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who made this shocking argument why America needs immigrants. Roll it, Alfred.
Here's where her addiction to controversy really shows. Listen to what she actually said, and remember, this is an elected official speaking at a public event.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
When the wheels fall off.
You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough.
The silence after that statement speaks volumes. Even in a room full of supporters, you could hear the discomfort, but instead of recognizing she'd gone too far, Crockett seemed to double down on the controversy. This is when the pattern became impossible to ignore. Every appearance, every interview, every public statement seemed designed to be more shocking than the last. She wasn't building a political career, she was building a brand based entirely on outrage.
Gilmeade, she's getting to be the face of that party.
I know, thanks to your show.
Yeah.
I don't know which more popular, this or The View on Gutfeld. But a couple of things. Did you see, at first I thought she was doing it for comedic purposes, but you watch back, nobody had a response. They didn't know what the hell she was talking about. And she's like, oh, really? Farming? Yes, it's called eating, farming. America's got the best farmers in the world. There's glory in doing it. People do it, and the people don't do it by hand anymore. This isn't 1820. So I was just stunned by what she's saying. But the weird thing is, she probably left that room thinking she knocked it out of the park. And I don't think that anyone can stop her from being the face of the party, except Bernie Sanders, who's 111 years old, talking about oligarchs.
That observation is absolutely brutal and probably accurate. The disconnect between her perception of these moments and reality became her biggest weakness. She was living in a bubble where controversy equals success, completely missing how these moments were actually being received. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. All of this behavior was about to catch up with her in the most public way possible. Enter Greg Gutfeld, a man who's made a career out of exposing exactly this type of performative nonsense.
Do you have an opinion on this? Or should I move on to somebody?
No, I just... It has to come from me.
Yes.
Okay? None of y'all are qualified. Not just, for one thing, I'm mad at Charmaine the guy because he should have kicked her out. See, the problem is that we are allowing our own culture to be openly racist and get away with it. Now, if a white person is offended by that, and they should be, they say something, it's like, it's not the same thing. But if you say that, and another brother looks at you and goes, man, you wrong for that. And I don't want you on my show. Get the hell out. Because I'm telling you right now, if I was not on the show, which happens sometimes, and someone was sitting in his chair and he was complaining about black men this and black that, and they shouldn't be here, and you know what happens when a white woman marries a black guy, you would not have seen that guy in the next segment. He would have kicked his ass off, because you're not going to talk about somebody that I care about like that, or another person like that. That's the problem.
This is where things get really interesting. Even people who should theoretically be on her side were starting to call out the problem. When your own allies are saying you've crossed lines that shouldn't be crossed, you know you're in trouble. But Crockett's response to criticism was always the same. Double down, get louder, and accuse her critics of being the real problem. This strategy had worked for her before, so why change now?
Yes. Yeah, all right, stop it! Although I must say you have great taste. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Oh, man. Okay.
The exhaustion in that sign-off is telling. Even seasoned media personalities were getting tired of the circus, but the circus was far from over.
Jesse, they called Musk a Nazi, and next thing you know, you got swastikas on cars. They called Trump Hitler and a Nazi and a fascist, and he got shot. So I don't really ever see that happening on the Republican side when we make fun of Democrats. It's also about the supporters. It's not just the leaders. It seems like Democrats are easily programmed to do bad things.
Yes, they are. They're very easily programmed, Greg.
The conversation was evolving beyond just Crockett herself. Her behavior was becoming a symbol of something larger, a style of politics that seemed to encourage the worst impulses in people. Then came the moment that would define her legacy forever, the scandal that would overshadow everything else she'd ever done.
They cursed, now they thirst for blood. Jasmine Crockett is upping her temper tantrums, now saying the only way Democrats can win elections is by throwing hands.
I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. It's Ted Cruz. I mean, this dude has to be knocked over the head, hard.
There it is, the moment she crossed from controversial to genuinely concerning, suggesting actual violence against fellow elected officials. That's not edgy political commentary. That's something else entirely. But even this wasn't her rock bottom. That was still to come.
Now, she claims that she wasn't talking about Abbott's wheelchair at all. Yet she's mentioned Abbott's wheels before. In 2022, she posted Beto's rolling around the state. Where's Abbott rolling to? And according to the Washington Free Beacon, Crockett also liked several Facebook comments referring to Abbott as Hot Wheels back in 2020.
This is where the house of cards finally collapsed. The pattern of behavior became undeniable. This wasn't some accidental slip-up or misunderstanding. This was deliberate, repeated targeting of someone's physical disability spanning years.
How long is she going to keep this thing that she wasn't talking about, the wheelchair?
Yeah. Come on, babe, you know you're full of and all that, Jasmine. I think what happened was AOC was like, you guys, I need to triangulate and be serious now because I'm going to be a senator. So someone has to be a talking attention whore. Who's it going to be? And Jasmine raised her hand and goes, excuse me, Congresswoman Cortez, I speak jive.
What it is, mama.
That analysis is brutal, but probably accurate. The suggestion that she deliberately chose to fill a role as the outrageous voice while others move toward respectability explains a lot about her trajectory. The final nail in the coffin came when her own party rejected her. After all the viral moments, all the attention, all the merchandise sales and social media followers, the people who actually mattered, her colleagues, made their feelings clear. When she ran for a leadership position, she didn't just lose, she came in dead last. The message was unmistakable. Viral fame doesn't equal real influence. Controversy doesn't equal credibility, and eventually people get tired of the circus. So where does this leave Jasmine Crockett? She's still making headlines, still chasing the next controversial moment, still trying to recapture that initial viral magic. But something fundamental has changed. The audience that once cheered her on has largely moved on. The colleagues who once tolerated her antics have distanced themselves. The media that once amplified her voice now treats her as a cautionary tale. Her story reveals something troubling about our current moment. In a world where attention equals currency, where viral moments can launch careers overnight, it's tempting to chase controversy for its own sake, but Jasmine Crockett's rise and fall proves that strategy has limits. Eventually, the audience gets tired of the show. Eventually, real consequences catch up with virtual fame. The question isn't whether she'll continue seeking attention, she will. The question is whether anyone will still be paying attention when she does, and based on recent events, that answer seems increasingly clear. What do you think? Can someone who's built their entire brand on controversy ever successfully pivot to something more substantial? Or is she trapped in a cycle of her own making? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve on celebrity meltdowns and entertainment industry drama, make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. Trust me, there's always another wild story just around the corner and you won't want to miss it.